My name is Shivaji Kumar. So I'm going to pull up my slideshow. I'm on the slide number 1. Welcome to this session. Um, my name is Shivaji Kumar, and I work as a senior accessibility manager for the US Bank. Before I proceed further, I want to welcome you all, but also give you a disclaimer that anything I say, any statements I make, or any interpretations I provide of the data that I'm going to share here, they're all mine. None of that should be attributed to my employer. So all opinions are mine here. All right. I'm going to move to slide number 2. So the agenda for today, I'm going to talk about what is competency-based or CBT for accessibility. Why use this framework, this CBT framework? Then I'm going to share some of our experiences related with this approach. And then I'm going to talk about some of the components of the approach that we have adopted. And then toward the end, I'm going to talk about the lessons we have learned and what you could learn from us if there is any learning here. All right, so let's dive into it. I'm going to move to slide number 3. All right, so what is competency-based skill development? Simply put, it is a systematic way to teach your developers and testers or anyone what they should be learning so that they can perform to the best of their abilities. That's a very simple description of what CBT is. So what we are doing, so we are training our employees, our testers and developers to cultivate special skill sets for accessibility so that they can perform to the best of their ability. And then also, when they learn based on the competencies that they are expected to acquire, they also perform and we use that for performance evaluations. So those are the two main components. I'm moving on to slide number 4. So why we adopted this approach? This is an approach that is born of necessity. As we all in this accessibility space know, that we are always short of resources, right? So there are 5-6 reasons I have listed here. Some of them are more pertinent or more immediately driving our decisions. Some of them are a bit distant, but here are these. When we started, at least when I started with the program, what I quickly learned was that there was very poor understanding of what accessibility was and why it is needed. So when I was talking to developers, their team leads, testers, their team leads, I was often running into this question of why do we need this? How does it help? Why do we need to spend resources on this? So that was one question that was coming up again and again. I also found that there was a lack of clear guidance and documentation of what we should be doing, how we should be doing, and where would it take us when we actually executed what we were telling people to do. Obviously, insufficient resources, that's an always ongoing story with all the accessibility programs. I'm yet to come across with any program that says, hey, we are well-resourced. So those, and I may not know that there are actually some programs like that out there, but those they which do have enough resources, kudos to them. But in the world in which we operate, we never have enough resources. And then of late, there is this tremendous weight of questioning coming from the leadership that how much do we really need to spend on manual testing? Why can't we just move to automation and do automated testing? So obviously there is crunch of resources, and given that kind of resource crunch, people want to move to automated testing. And these last two are really critical for me. And as we were designing this program, CBT-based program, obviously there was a lack of a structured program. People didn't understand how what skills they need to be developing so that they would be performing their functions properly. So, developers, what exactly they needed, QAs, what exactly they needed. So we had modules, training programs that we could get from our third-party vendor, but then aligning them with their skill sets and then backing them up with some of the things that I'm going to share later, that was missing. And then finally, there was a lot of there was lack of clarity about the rate of investment of accessibility in the SDLC, right? So managers, product owners, developers, team leads, they were not really sure how investing in accessibility would actually pay the dividends to them in their software lifecycle. So I'm going to move to the next slide. So then this is what we. So you may have heard of this little company somewhere. I don't know. That was pun intended, but right. So we got it from DQ. This rate of ROI scale. And we really baked this into some of the decisions we made from the on the technology side. And I'm going to expand on some of these issues that, if you were to start with accessibility at the design phase, there is hardly any investment there, right? It just the cost factor is just 1. It rises to 5 if you were to start addressing accessibility at the development phase. If you were to punt it down to the QA, the testing phase, then obviously it rises up to 15. And if you miss everything during all these 3 phases, and if you get to the pre-production phase, then it goes up to 30. The cost goes up to 30 factor, right? So so this is really huge. This is a huge cost for any enterprise, for any team to bear. So then the question for us was, how do we showcase it to our leadership, but also, but more importantly, how do we factor it into our decisions when we are designing our training modules for our folks? So this is the one approach that we adopted now. So I'm just walking through really fast here because I'm going to spend some time on each of these points later. One major thing that we learned when we were designing this sort of training program was that, all of we're talking to developers, testers, and the team leads, but we were not getting the purchase that we were looking for. So, and we had consultations, internal consultations with my leadership and other folks, and we decided that we needed to take a different tack on it. And the idea that we came up with was to start doing these enterprise level sessions. And we did not expect that these enterprise level awareness building and education sessions would actually equip people with the skill sets. No, definitely not. These were, large scale virtual sessions that we designed. And what we actually thought was that their leaders, the team leads, the risk folks, or whoever cared for accessibility would show up, and that is what actually happened. Um, so we just talked about what accessibility was and how it affected our enterprise, who should be involved in the process, those high level discussions. And what we learned was that we were getting a lot of traction there. So building awareness and education, that was really key to our success. And then building upon the success of these large enterprise-wide uh, sessions, we decided to go deep down. And then we were already delivering these role-specific trainings. We refined them, we fine-tuned them, and we changed the cadence, and we kept offering them. We also then started to, given the resource constraints, we also started to not only focus on accessibility testers and developers, but we started cross-training regular devs and QAs in accessibility. Uh, a key component of this entire process was to assign certain training modules. We have access to DQ University. We access their modules. We assign those. I'm going to talk a bit more later, but we follow up these modules with live training sessions. We also wanted to make sure that the product owners, risk officers, or product managers were also pulled into these training sessions. I move to the next slide number 7. So just to situate this entire discussion about CBT in the larger context that we are driving toward, building an accessibility program, and that to an effective one, takes a lot of resources, a lot of thinking, and a lot of partnership. So, so compliance is one component of that. Culture building is yet another, and then education and awareness is the third pillar, right? So there are these 3 pillars. And given the industry in which I work, there is a lot of compliance. So obviously, partnering with compliance folks has been a key component of our strategy. But also then, compliance can get you only thus far, not very far, right? It can take you to a certain extent, but then in the absence of those ingrained habits and the ideas that whatever we are producing needs to be accessible and usable by all, that is part of the culture building. And for that kind of habit formation, there is a lot of partnership with folks from design. I have very close partnership with our design folks. They build out very fantastic artifacts right in the beginning of the process. And then comes the third pillar. That's the education. And then building off of that education comes the CBT part. So this is how we are driving. Before I move on to the components of our CBT program, I'm moving on to the slide number 8. All right, so here's what we did. And so I just wanted to quickly share with you some of the key sessions we did to spread awareness and then to build upon that our program. So So this is all from virtual sessions. We are a huge enterprise. So we did these virtual sessions. So the most recent one was in back in January. So we had online 868 attendees. So these included devs and testers for sure, because the session was designed mainly for them. But also there were a few team leads and probably some managers showed up there. Then we also did mobile-based native app testing. That so we are so that has the lowest attendance because our mobile program is getting off the ground. It is there, but it is not where it should be. It's going to get there fairly soon. And then we also did QA facing sessions, how to test, what to test. For accessibility. So we had 250 folks who attended that. Um, and then going back all the way to last January, we had close to 500 folks attending the session. That was for risk officers and developers, product leads and all that. So these are large enterprise-wide sessions. But as I said earlier, they're obviously not the ones where we teach and the nitty-gritties of testing. We just give a flavor of what things look like, what testing looks like, what development looks like in a tool. But then we follow these things with more focused training sessions. So the next components of our approach. So I'm on slide number 9. So these are some of the programs. These are some of the modules we recommend for our web developers. Semantic structure and navigation, device-independent user input, form label, and things like that, right? So these are, we recommend these. They are there on our website, but then these are actually from DQ. So once our expectation is once our developers go through these modules, then we move to the next stage. And I'm moving to the next slide, slide number 10. So then we have live training sessions for not just the content, but also for tools. So we offer this DevTools training. It is twice a week. So, and we also offer intelligent guided testing once a month. We have dedicated weekly office hours where people can go and get their questions answered. This is a dedicated space and time. They can reach out to us. Then obviously we offer consultation regarding code and how screen reader would interact with that code. And then we also reach out to different teams if they need any extra helping hand. So these are live sessions. And I just wanted to share you some numbers related to those. So we had 130 odd attendees for that. And then for monitor, we had 211. So this is what we get when we have a structured program where developers are given certain modules, and then it is followed up with live training session, and then we have these Q&A. Then we have these office hours. Similarly, then a similar approach we adopted for mobile, right? We recommended certain modules, right, for mobile developers, and then we had live sessions for tools and training, um, Android based specific sessions, iOS based specific sessions, and then talk back and voiceover. Um, each of those are offered on regular intervals. Um, then we have these attendance here, right? So this really helps us to push the CBT in a fashion that is more focused and that is really aligned with where we want to go moving forward. Um, I'm on slide 15 now, and we adopted similar thing for QAs, right? So we have a certain number of courses, modules recommended from DQ. People go and go through them at their own pace, and then we offer these live training sessions. So auditor training twice a week, JAWS and NVDA training twice a month. Then we have weekly office hours. And then we also help people to come up with processes and documentation. So that's been our approach. Here we have certain numbers related to that training. So I am on the last slide of my presentation here. What has been our learning? So this is somewhat counterintuitive, but there are companies, there are enterprises that are fortunate enough to have buy-in from the top leadership, or the program buy-in comes from the executives. In our case, what I've learned when I joined the company, what I learned was that it was going to take a while to get that kind of buy-in from the top leadership. So we started from the middle, and we engaged the middle management, right? So the risk officers, so the compliance and risk folks, the director started accessibility policy, right? And then started socializing it. Then the design folks started working with their designers, and then reaching out to middle management in their realm. Then I started working in my realm, designing these courses, these training courses, and then offering them to developers and testers. But more importantly, reaching out to the managers and product owners to make them understand the value of accessibility, why that was important. And once we started gaining some traction in the middle, we found that there was a lot more traction trickling down to testers and developers and team leads. So that's one of the lessons I draw from our experience. That we managed to drive the program from middle, and it has gained quite a good traction. Building awareness and education at the enterprise level, that was something that I learned would really spawn something that I had not initially expected. Going into this, my hunch was that I should either get buy-in from the top leadership or probably start from the bottom. Reaching out to testers and devs and those folks. But doing these enterprise level awareness building and education sessions really kickstarted the process that then trickled down to the developers and testers and QA leads and all those folks. So that's my second learning. Then obviously, in order to build out the program and give it a structure, We combined role-specific training sessions, training modules. Uh, um, what I also learned was that given the industry I was in, risk officers were pretty strong allies in the space. In my previous positions, risk officers did not play all that prominent role, but in the industry that I'm currently in, risk is very important, and gaining their support can be very critical to your program. And that's what happened. And that is what is happening, that we are beginning to gain a lot of traction with the risk folks, and we are making them understand how accessibility can actually increase or decrease risk for the company. And then finally, engagement of product owners and product managers. I've said this many times before, but it still merits reiteration here, that if we manage to get buy-in from the managers and product owners, that still drives the process downward quite a bit, and it can actually make accessibility run through the entire SDLC pretty smoothly. I would stop here, and I would love to take any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation. It looks like everybody enjoyed it and got a lot of engagement in the chat and questions in the Q&A. So let's start with, is training for developers mandatory? And if so, how do you track if they've completed, and what, if any, disciplinary actions can be taken if they do not complete it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the question is sort of reading our minds moving forward. We are exploring how to make them mandatory. They can be made mandatory to an extent. They are, but not to the point of disciplinary action. So there are certain departments, divisions within our enterprise that have mandated completion of these modules and training sessions within specified period of time. But that's only a handful. But we are hoping to replicate that model, and then moving forward, we could take it to the other divisions and other departments.
Yeah. The next is, do you have sample descriptions of the skills and how they get communicated to employees, as well as how you measure conformance and compliance?
Sample descriptions. We don't have any list of specific skills, but we do have skills that we're looking for from our testers and developers. We want our developers to use automated testing tool. That's that currently we are using DevTools for web testing. So we want them to have the skill sets to learn how to use that tool, and then use it in their dev environment for unit testing. So these are the skills we definitely look for. Then similarly, we want our QAs to learn how to use the tool called Axe Auditor, and then acquire proficiency to run tests through Auditor and understand what those tests mean and what the results mean. So to that extent, yes, we do have skill sets, but we've not created an inventory of such skills that we are looking for. But if you want to gain proficiency using these things, yeah, there are the skill sets we want them to learn. there was the other part of the question, Tom.
Go grab that question.
What
Was
conformance and compliance, I guess, something.
as well as how you measure conformance and compliance.
So the conformance is somewhat easy in the sense that if you have, so currently my company has built into its policy that we are WCAG 2.2 conformant. So if we have, and all of our tools are upgraded to WCAG 2.2 at this point. And so if your testing results are good, and if they're good, that means they are 2.2 compliant, conformant. And if that's the case, then we are compliant.
Thank you. Got another one here that says, can you share the competencies or some examples you use to construct the training for a given role and how you put those together with the source?
Can you read that one more time?
Sure thing. Can you share the competencies or some examples you used to construct the training for a given role and how you put those together? And then the word source.
Source. Okay. So the competencies I just described, right? Some of the testing skills, both within the QA phase as well as within the dev environment. And based on those tools and what that requires to gain proficiency, our live trainings are built upon those. And what is the source? So some of the sources that we use, we draw upon the modules from DQ, but also we use our own internal data gathering, in the sense that since we run so many live training sessions, we gather what exactly developers are looking for when they come for those live sessions. We also gather data on what exactly QAs are looking for when they are joining those live sessions. And based on those feedbacks, we from time to time refine our trainings.
Gotcha. Thank you. Another one here is, do you have advice for pushing for accessibility training in an organization that doesn't value it?
Lots of organizations are like that. It depends where exactly you're located within the organization. And I have been with lots of, this is my current organization, US Bank, but I have previously been communications organization and higher ed and state government. And almost everywhere I have encountered somewhat similar attitude that, people don't really understand accessibility and always question the relevance of it. So depending on where you are located within the organization and what the organization values. So, so for instance, so currently my industry in general values risk a lot. So if you can start to frame accessibility to some extent in terms of risk, you will get some purchase. If you are in higher ed, then risk may not play any significant role there. However, you could go to the value-based, you could use the value approach. That is, hey, we are in higher education. We need to make college education accessible to all. And one of the values there is to make it equitable, make it inclusive for all students. And then you start building allies. And if you could, within that space, if you could get allyship from the faculty, that would be the best because they rule the world. If not, then you still need to work with other staff and administrators to build it out. If you are in some other industry, you may have to look for allies there. But without allies, partnerships, it is very difficult to move forward in this accessibility space, I would say.
Agreed. Thank you. This may have been answered in your presentation and asked earlier, but just in case, it's, do you do onboarding training with developers?
Yes. So the way we handle that is that, as soon as developers are onboarded, we give them sort of a rundown of um, what all we offer for accessibility. We call it roadshow. That's not specific to developers, but then that's for all QAs and developers, everyone. But once they have gone through that, then we recommend the specific modules depending on their roles. And then once they have gone through those modules, we offer them developer-specific live training sessions.
Thank you. Was there one thing in particular that helped drive the culture change to allow for mandatory training?
Culture change, which I would say culture change takes a lot of time and it is still work in progress. But I can confidently say that we are chipping away a lot of the resistance to bring in this new culture. So mandatory training, we have recommended training, and as I said, some of the divisions have opted for mandatory, but it's not bank-wide practice at this point. So building culture would take time, and it would also take a lot of other divisions and departments to go for those mandatory trainings. But yes, I would say that we are making progress. We are changing the culture for sure.
Got it. We've got several questions and you are moving through them. Thank you. You got another two here from the same person that say, how did you get developer teams engaged and did you have management backing?
So let me start with the management backing part. I don't know what they mean by management backing, but as I said, we started in the middle, right? So the middle management, so let's say product owners, product managers, we did education sessions for them, or even if they were not meant for them, but many of them showed up for those sessions. And so once we did those large scale sessions, the knowledge started to build up. And then once that awareness started to build up, it became somewhat easier to then convince team leads and team developers to understand why accessibility was important for what they were doing. And then, and if you offer them more a structured program, role specific trainings, they do show up. But then at the same time, they do need some pressure, some buy-in from their immediate leadership management.
Thank you. This is somewhat related, it looks like. Was it difficult to convince and educate the product owners that accessibility has value in its own and that making more accessible code creates more easy to use features?
Yes, it is difficult and it is still work in progress. So we are in the process of designing more product owner specific training sessions at this point. Up until now, we have delivered some training sessions focused exclusively on product owners, managers, but moving forward, we're also designing more of those sessions so that they understand um, what accessibility is, where it stands as it relates to something we call definition of done. And if they want their product to meet that definition of done, then accessibility would be an integral part of that process. So there is a lot more to come on that one. But yes, I would say we started to make inroads into that group of folks for sure.
Nice, thanks. Two questions here that are related to each other are, how does the CBT work alongside accessibility consultants, and how does this program benefit the accessibility team?
Yeah, this is a great question. Maybe I don't know what that accessibility consultant means here. But okay, this is my interpretation. My understanding is accessibility consultant would mean a dedicated resource for accessibility. So going back to the CBT, it does work for delivering skill-focused training for QAs and regular folks. But if you have, and this would be a luxury, but if you have dedicated accessibility testers and devs, that would be fantastic. But that's a rarity in this world. And that might need some adjustment, some calibration. But if there are any accessibility dedicated resources, then I would generally use them for serving as mentors for the teams that they're working for, right? What I've done is that these dedicated A11Y resources would start mentoring devs in that team, would start mentoring QAs in that team, so that accessibility does not remain an exclusive preserve of one person. What if that person is out sick for 6 weeks, 2 weeks, right? So it should not happen that accessibility works comes to a grinding halt if the dedicated resource is out for an extended period of time.
Thank you. We have time for just one more question, or two questions in one here. Can you talk a bit about the difference between conformance versus compliance? Do you differentiate between the two?
Mm-hmm. Yes, one can make a distinction there. Conformance is strictly conforming to WCAG guidelines. And compliance is wider than conformance. Compliance could be any laws and regulations your company, your organizations has adopted to adhere to, right? So if you operate in the United States, you may have Section 508 that has its own compliance for accessibility. I think 2.1 or 2.0 at this point. Then if you are somewhere else in Europe or in Japan, they might still be at WCAG 2.1 or 2.0. So compliance is wider, broader. It can vary. But conformance is more limited to the WCAG success criteria. That's how I look at it. And depending on your context, where you operate, where your company operates, compliance can vary. You may have to adhere to Canadian regulations. You may have to adhere to US regulations or European regulations.
Well, thank you very much. Big thanks to you, Shivaji, for a great session. And thank you to all of you who are watching and participating with good questions for the Q&A.